Now available in paperback and e-readers, John Haynes' Godbreaker. The man who rules the world takes on the Asgardian god of thunder in this action-packed, all-new John Haynes series adventure. Get your copy of John Haynes' Godbreaker in paperback and e-readers at online booksellers everywhere. One of my viewers wanted me to talk about the political homelessness of black men. Now, all across the country, there are large populations of homeless people, and a majority percentage of those homeless individuals are black men. And this is something that I believe is done politically by design, because most of the individuals who are a part of white supremacy do not want to see black men gain any sort of economic empowerment, and will do everything in their power to ensure that black men, especially heterosexual black men, stay at the bottom of society. Now, the reason why I believe that this is done deliberately is because many in society, especially those white supremacists at the top, do not want to see a black man gain any sort of economic power, and because they don't want to see a black man gain any sort of economic power, what they do is willfully and intentionally go out here and make every effort to deny a black man any sort of opportunity that will allow him to be able to get any sort of economic power at all. Now, I again believe that this is done deliberately because many whites and minorities do not want to compete against heterosexual black men, and because they don't want to compete against heterosexual black men in the economy, what they do is make every effort to deny a black man any sort of opportunity to be able to go out here and make a living for himself. Because the easiest way to help most of these homeless black men is to go out here and, one, give them a stable residence, one, and two, give them full-time employment. However, many on the left and the right don't want to see black men get any sort of stability, because if a black man goes out here and gets any sort of economic stability, what that does is it destabilizes their economy, which is based on codependency of black women to the entire white supremacist system. Because back in the days when the feminist movement came along, many black women tethered themselves to the white supremacist economic system as part of the welfare state, and they also got many of the jobs that black men were supposed to get through affirmative action. And as these black women gained economic empowerment through codependence, they only had to sacrifice their black man, and they were willing to sacrifice a black man in order to gain so-called economic security. And this left many black men struggling to find a way to make a living if they could. And sadly, over the last 60 years, so many black men have fallen through the cracks because most of the government services participate in, as I see it, sexism, because a single woman can go out here and receive welfare benefits. A single woman can go out here and receive Section 8. And again, if she's a single mother, she can receive all of these benefits because our gynocentric welfare system will give her priority over a struggling man who would be easier to go out here and help, because all that man would need is a stable residence, and he could just go out here and get a full-time job. And once he got that full-time job and worked for about a year to 2 to 3 years, he would be back on his feet and he would be on his way to moving on with his life. However, our codependent, gynocentric government doesn't want to see black men, especially heterosexual black men, to get any sort of economic power, and they fear a black man getting economic power for several reasons. One, they don't want a black man getting economic power because if he gets economic power, he gets control over the economy. And if he has control over the economy, what he can do is set standards for his community by going out here and, one, deciding what businesses he is going to support, and two, he can go out here and start building his own businesses in his own community. And many of the foreigners who have come here and built businesses in black communities, like the Korean hair and nail salons, the Arab grocery stores, the Indian fast food restaurants, the Hispanic bodegas, and the white supermarkets, they would see their economic base completely eroded if there was a base of black men out here with full-time jobs and moving on from full-time jobs to their own businesses. If this happened, there would be a seismic shift to the black communities, which have $3.3 trillion in spending power. And with that seismic shift, all of those individuals would see all of their money basically upheaved. And as they saw their money upheaved and going from 97% of black dollars going out of the black community, they would start to see 97% of black dollars going into the black community, and the 3% that went to the black pastor would possibly be upheaved as well, because if there's a black man in that community setting standards, setting order, and setting a tone, what would happen is the black pastor would not have control of the black women to fleece the flock, and many of these businesses would not have the ability to take advantage of black women. And in addition, what would also happen is many of these black communities would just completely change as related to their direction. And because the white supremacist power system doesn't want to see the black economy go out here and shift from from a codependent economy to an interdependent one, what they do is keep the black man oppressed and keep him from being able to enter into the economic system. And again, many black men wind up homeless because they basically cannot enter the job market, because many employers go out here and erect what I call the HR brick wall, which is staffed by white female and black female gatekeepers. And because these women are emotional about their perceptions of black men, they go out here and deny a black man, especially a heterosexual black man, an opportunity to go out here and find employment. So what these women do when a black man comes into a job for an interview like myself is what they do is start projecting all of their fears onto any black man. It doesn't matter how educated or professional he is. What they do is project all of their feelings and hurt or their fears about black men. And this is one of the reasons why we don't see many black men at these jobs making a living. And as these black men try to go out here and do everything in their power to try to go out here and try to maintain an existence, what happens is many black men sadly fall through the cracks because there is no safety net to help them. And this is why many black men wind up on the streets homeless, because there was nobody there to support them. Many black men, sometimes they just lost a job that they had for years, and what happened was they tried to find another one like I did 15 years ago, and it just doesn't work out. And as those black men try to go out here and try to find a way, a lot of guys wind up starting to try to find ways to escape all the anxiety and the stress that is making their mental health deteriorate. And this is what leads to many black men winding up getting on drinking and starting to drink alcohol, or going out here and starting to take drugs. So a lot of these homeless men at one time, some of these brothers were educated professionals. Some of these brothers had good blue-collar jobs at one time. Some of these brothers were making pretty good money. Some of these brothers came out the military. And again, no support system. Nobody wanted to support the black men. And again, this is why many of these black men wind up on the streets. And sadly, they wind up on the streets not being able to get any help outside of the prison system. It seems like the only time a black man can go out here and get any sort of service is if he gets arrested and locked up. Then there are all of these government services to help the black man as he's incarcerated, but nobody's thinking about trying to help that black man when he's already out here trying to go out here and be a responsible citizen. And again, this is done deliberately by design by your politicians, especially those in both the blue and the red party. They deliberately go out here and look to go out here and keep black men oppressed. And again, this is politically by design. They want to keep the black man at the bottom because they fear if a black man goes out here and gets economic power, what he will do is not only upheave the codependent economy, he will go out here and start taking political power by running for political offices and upheave the entire political system. Because like many racists believe in their movie Birth of a Nation, they believe that if a black man gets power, they may destroy the country. But the irony is that they already are destroying their own country, because what they're doing now is just escalating things, because they're not only looking to go out here and oppress black men as related to homelessness, they are also looking to oppress black women after the pandemic, because many of the black women they put in their affirmative action jobs, they are looking to replace. And what they're looking to do is find some minority Hispanic or minority Asian, and that black woman who is one paycheck away from homelessness is finding herself and her kids winding up in the same situation that the black man is in. But had she gone out here and supported a black man, that they would have been able to work together and build a home. But sadly, there's a political campaign to destroy black people. And again, this all started with black men. And the homelessness is, again, deliberately by design. And it's deliberately by design because, again, the fastest way to get a black man out of homelessness, one, is to, again, give them a stable residence where they can get mail like their W-2s and their other documents, and have them stay for a while until they can get themselves on their feet. And then once a man gets on his feet and gets his money straight, what that man is going to do is start building momentum, and he's going to start building momentum towards moving his life forward. Because once a man starts going out here and seeing that he can do better, what he's going to do is look to move out of whatever little place he's in to another new place. And he's going to look to improve his life and the quality of his life. That's what happens when you give a black man an opportunity. But what I've found from my own personal experience, being a guy who graduated from college at the top of his class, is that nobody wants to give a heterosexual black man an opportunity. No, what they want to do is go out here and find ways to avoid giving a black man an opportunity to get a job. Moreover, what they do is they brainwash black women and have them reinforce the HR brick wall by being a gatekeeper that keeps black men from coming into the job. And as she's playing head each night in their fiefdom, what she's thinking is that they are looking out for her by destroying the black man and buying into all of the rhetoric the white feminists have told her. But what they don't see is that by not working with that black man, you're undermining yourself. But again, all of this is done deliberately by design, and it's done deliberately by design because most people in white supremacist America and the world don't want to see a black man go out here and have power. So in order to keep their world smooth, what they want to do is keep black men homeless, and they want to keep black men and large populations of black men homeless because they want to keep the economy codependent, and they want codependent people to just go out here and be ruling over. And they would rather rule over the ashes of dead black men and black men in prison than rather have black men be major contributors to the economy. Now, this was a video requested by one of my viewers, and if you want to request a video, you can send a donation to the Cash App And if I know something about that subject, I will make that video for you. And if you want to pick up some of my books detailing homelessness and the issues of homelessness, you can pick up my book, The Man Crisis, on Amazon.com, which goes in depth on the subject. And you can pick up many of my other men's issues books on Amazon.com as well. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and e-readers, John Haynes, 1987. Learn lessons about life and teenage love in the 1980s in this coming-of-age John Haynes story. Get your copy of John Haynes, 1987 in paperback and e-readers at Amazon.com and online booksellers everywhere. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.